God message today, grace and warmth to your spirit, cherished one. Welcome once more to the whispering pathway, where divine timing finds voice, where heavenly light filters through silence, and where you are never just passing by, you are divinely led. Whether you are arriving for the first time or returning with faithful footsteps, know this: you are known here. Your presence is felt, cherished, and celebrated by the unseen realm that has always been walking beside you. Take a moment now, not just a breath, but a surrender. Let go of what was, and prepare to embrace what is birthing through you. Declare it below: I believe in what is already mine. These aren't mere words, they are spiritual keys. As you speak, you open the door. As you believe, you become. This message isn't just a letter of encouragement, it's a living map, and it's arriving in your hands right on time. Today's revelation is wrapped in movement, sacred movement, not just a shift in emotion, not merely a change of mood or mindset. No, this is physical, divine transition, a relocation of your spirit, your body, and your destiny. But this time, you are not stepping forward alone. Heaven has sent another. A divine companion has been silently stitched into the pattern of your unfolding life. Their energy has brushed against your spirit already. You've asked about them quietly, longingly, wondering if what you feel is real. The answer is yes. Yes, beloved, it is more real than the ground beneath your feet, and they are closer than you dare to imagine. Their name? You may not know it yet, but your soul does. Let us call this soul, for now, Riven, a spirit youthful not only in years, but in rhythm. There is a brightness in them, a light-hearted gravity that dances rather than sinks. Riven has known pain, yes, but they have carried it like a lantern, not a chain. They have cried, but the tears became rivers that nourished their purpose. They have not hardened, they have bloomed. Riven sees you already, in dreams, in longing, in moments when the noise of the world falls away and only the truth remains. To them, you are like Marrow Lake, deep, still, reflective, nourishing everything around you without asking for applause. Even before they've laid eyes on your form, they feel the warmth of your spirit. This person is not just walking in abundance, they are abundance. Though financial security surrounds them like a well built home, that is not their most precious asset. No, their greatest wealth lies in the soil of their heart. They are generous without motive, wise beyond what books can teach, spiritually aligned, like a compass that always finds true north. They are not stingy with their light. They want to give, to share, to lift, and most beautifully, they want to lift you. In the days ahead, you will notice the breadcrumbs the divine leaves. Conversations will lean toward travel. Dreams may carry you over oceans. Foreign words, accents, spices, songs. They'll start appearing out of nowhere. Don't ignore this. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. Riven is a wanderer of worlds, physical and mystical. They've touched many shores, but now they seek someone not just to see the world with, but to feel it with, to experience the sacred between breaths, and that someone is you. But here's the truth most won't dare whisper: this union is not just romantic, it is holy, it is ordained. You are not just meeting a lover, you are aligning with a sacred assignment. Together, you are a mission in motion. As your hands join, gifts will awaken, abilities long dormant will come to life. Riven will unlock something in you, and you will become the mirror that reminds them of who they truly are. As Ecclesiastes 4:9 whispers, two are better than one, for they have a good return for their labor. and the labor you are about to embark on is both spiritual and tangible. What's more, this connection is favor, the kind that moves heaven's heart. UW. The detours, heartbreaks, the long silences, they were not punishments, they were preservations. You weren't forgotten, you were kept, hidden, guarded from those who would not have honored your rarity. And Riven, they too were undergoing sacred preparation. They faced their own breaking, reshaping, and refining. And now, your seasons have synced. A new thing is springing forth. You will know this love by how it heals the deepest fractures inside you, especially the belief that to be spiritual, you must live in lack, that prosperity is for others, that abundance and faith cannot sit at the same table. The divine says, no more. You are about to embody the truth of Devrim's law. Faithfulness in spirit brings fruitfulness in life. Riven is not a detour from your destiny, they are a doorway, a partner who doesn't diminish your light but adds oil to your flame. And you, dear soul, are the mirror they've been praying into for years. But here's a warning wrapped in love. Doubt will come knocking. It will whisper, why you? It will question the age gap, the success disparity, the worthiness. It will try to diminish what heaven has elevated. And to that I say, remember Elaris 9:17. The Eternal One chooses not by appearance but by alignment. The world sees the surface, but I search the soul. This love wasn't built by swipes or chance. It was spoken into existence before time began. Riven has known other hands, but none that matched their depth, just as you have known affection, but not anchoring. Those old connections weren't mistakes, they were mirrors showing you what you truly need. And now, need and destiny are meeting in full. The divine is peeling back the veil. The season of hiding is over. You are being summoned into visibility. Your voice is being amplified. Your gifts called forth, not for performance but for purpose. This is more than love. It is legacy. Together, you and Riven will light up paths others fear to tread. Your union will birth projects, movements, ministries, or maybe just a sanctuary of peace that changes the lives of those who enter it. Whether you plant forests or just one tree, the impact will ripple across timelines. The angels now sing over your head like wind through leaves. You are ready. You are rising. You are remembered. Believe it. Claim it. Walk into it with bare feet and open arms. For this is the beginning of everything. When love finds you ready. They called her Isla, a soul of silence and starlight, whose prayers had soaked into the earth beneath her feet. For years, Isla had moved through life like a traveler with no map, trusting only the flickers of intuition and the whispers of angels in her dreams. She had outgrown old versions of herself, shedding skins no longer meant to fit, and though she'd walked through heartbreaks that bent her to her knees, she never stopped believing in the power of love, holy, healing, heaven orchestrated love. Across the ocean there was Micah, a man who had wandered, yes, but not aimlessly. His journey was filled with lessons wrapped in pain, joy dressed in solitude. Micah carried stories in his bones, some still healing, others glowing with the light of revelation. He knew, somewhere deep in the marrow of his spirit, that someone was walking toward him, not by sight, but by spirit, not by perfect timing, but by divine alignment. They hadn't met yet, not in the earthly sense, but their souls had already been introduced. Ayla had begun clearing her space without knowing why. She donated bags of things she once thought she needed. She opened windows, let fresh air touch corners that hadn't seen light in years. She began to cook meals for two. She added a second toothbrush to the holder, not out of loneliness, but faith. Her heart knew. Prepare. Micah, in another part of the world, started waking up at 4:44 a.m. without alarms. He began dreaming of a woman with wild eyes and a tender voice. A present. You are not alone, Micah. I'm praying for you too. They didn't know the when or the how, but heaven did. Philippians 4:6 floated through Ayla's thoughts one morning as she made tea. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And so she did, not with desperation, but with gratitude. She thanked God for Micah's healing, for his safety, for his readiness. She whispered blessings over his journey like lullabies only angels could carry to him. Micah felt them, not in words, but in energy, in the sudden peace that filled him after years of tension, in the way music began to sound like messages, in the quiet joy he felt while driving home, as if someone was thinking of him. Their first meeting was not planned, not humanly at least. It was a bookstore in a city neither of them called home. Ayla was passing through on a spontaneous solo trip. Micah was visiting a friend. She reached for a book of poetry. So did he. Their hands touched. Time didn't stop, but their breath did. And then came the remembering. He didn't know her name, but her presence felt familiar. She didn't recognize his face, but his energy felt safe. They laughed, talked, lost track of time, and when she finally said her name, he smiled. I've written that name in my journal, he whispered, almost in disbelief. Ayla blinked. Her throat tightened. I've prayed for you. I didn't know your face, but I've prayed for you. From that moment on, their connection unfolded, not without challenge, but without resistance. They saw each other's wounds and didn't flinch. They didn't need to be fixed. They needed to be understood, loved in their fullness, not in fragments. Galatians 6:2 became their anchor. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. He didn't rescue her, but he stood beside her in every storm. She didn't complete him, but she awakened the parts he had silenced. Together, they didn't build a perfect life, they built a sanctuary. People around them questioned the timing, the distance, the differences. But Ayla and Micah didn't explain, they didn't defend. Divine unions don't ask for validation from the crowd, they ask for obedience to God's alignment. Romans 8:30 resounded. Those he predestined he also called. Those he called he also justified. Those he justified he also glorified. This wasn't just about falling in love. It was about rising in it, about breaking generational cycles of fear and silence, about creating a love that healed not just their wounds, but the wounds of those who would come after them. Their children, whether spiritual, biological, or both, would grow up in the overflow of a love co created with heaven, a love that was spoken into being through midnight prayers and unshakable faith. Some nights, Ayla would stare at Micah sleeping beside her and whisper, Thank you, God, not just for the gift, but for making me ready to receive it. Micah, on quiet mornings, would watch her brush her hair in the sunlight and think, so this is what God meant when He said, Delight yourself in me, and I will give you the desires of your heart. They had both asked, they had both waited, but more importantly, they had both prepared, not out of fear, not out of desperation, but because they believed. They decluttered not just rooms, but mindsets. They let go not just of people but of limiting beliefs. They made space, and love walked in. So now, beloved reader, as you hear their story, ask yourself, what are you preparing for? What have you been sensing in your spirit that your eyes haven't yet seen? This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to expand, to speak blessings over someone you've never met, to thank God in advance, to open your hands and release the weight of your past, to ready your life for love that reflects heaven. Deuteronomy 7:9 reminds us, know therefore that the covenant of love to 1,000 generations. The union you're walking into, it's not just for you, it's for generations. Get ready, because someone is being guided to this version of you, the one who knows their worth, who honors their journey, who walks with God. They will know your spirit before they know your name. And when you meet them, it won't be the beginning, it will be the return. So type this in your heart, and maybe even in the comments of your soul, blessed and ready, because you are. Type yes if you believe in OD. Type 1111 if you believe in God.